Okay, so I have this girlfriend and she's beautiful. She's a new mom and I love her. I love her husband. I love her baby. It's a beautiful thing to see and she's so busy now. So we keep in touch with each other by Marco Polo, if you've ever heard of that app. It's an app where you can like make a video for somebody and they make a video back, and that's like we kept playing phone tag forever. And she's just like, well, let's just do this Marco Polo thing. And she'll send me a video about what's going on in her life. And then I'll respond with a video about what's going on in my life. And so we were talking and she's telling me about this amazing woman that she's going to this party for, who's one of her clients. And she's like 88. And she started practicing law when she was 47, which is great. It's really inspiring because I have to make another video about this sometime in the future, but there's a whole ageism thing where a lot of people think that they're too old to do stuff and they don't want to try after a certain age. And to me, it's really inspiring that this lady like was like, forget it, I'm gonna practice law. She has a very successful law practice, and then she's going on and telling me all these amazing things, and then she's like, oh yeah, and she's super feminist and she's super anti-Trump, which I love. And I was just like, should I make a polo back saying that I'm not anti-Trump? But I'm not going to. I think I'm just going to let it ride. It's going to come out eventually, I'm sure. But right now, it's just kind of good not to talk politics with somebody and just let it come out. And I know we're both going to go at it because we're both very stubborn and we're both very headstrong. So, you know, I'm an Aries, she's a Capricorn. So we got the horns thing. You know, we're both a cardinal sign, so we would just be like boom, 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 boom. But I'm hoping once it does come out, she'll at least respect me or hear my point of view. But right now, I'm not concerned about telling her that. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So the reason why I brought this up was the fact that her, you know, she's talking about this woman that's super feminist and super, you know, anti-Trump, and her husband's a feminist. I'm just like, I kind of understand a little bit why people that old are very feminist, because they experience real discrimination as far as women not being able to join things and do things. And I think some of people are still kind of stuck in that mindset and they're not really paying attention to what's going on around them. I just don't see how somebody that it has a successful law practice and is super rich is oppressed as a woman. You know, when there are people that on this planet that can't drive, that can't, you know, that have to keep their face covered all the time, that, you know, can't read, that are allowed to learn how to read, they get raped all the time because they're women. I just don't see the oppression. I know there's discrimination. There's always going to be people that are being sexist or racist, but those are just facets of the human nature that you can't write laws for to change. You have to, you know, work on changing people's consciousness about those things, not through law. That's how those things are going to change. So I don't really like this whole kind of flippant idea of like, you know, it's, you know, I was discriminated against as a woman, as a black person, whatever. So now it's okay to treat other white people bad, or people that aren't, you know, black bad, or people that are men bad. And I'm not saying she's doing that, but I think if you're still like diehard feminist and stuff and you're very successful, I just think that's a bit kind of detached, you know, because I don't know, to me it's a bit twisted. So I'm digressing, but I want to kind of get on this. I want to get on this thing and talking about white guilt. And I lifted a couple passengers, and this lady was great. I mean, this one lady, she was great. We had great conversations. We didn't. I can tell where her politics point of view was, but you know, I didn't really talk about that. But we got into this whole tangent about cultural appropriation, and is it okay for white people to wear dreadlocks and afros? I was like, yes, it's dead protein that grows out of your head. And I went on to say, I'm like, you know, there are people that are just looking. That was really loud. There's people that are just looking for things to be offended by. You know, there's some people that get off on that guilt. And I was like, look, lady, I'm like, I'm good. I'm okay. Like, my life really isn't in a shambles because I'm a black person. Really, I'm fine. Okay. And she was like, yes, but you know, black people have been discriminated against. And I was just like, yeah, I'm over it. Like a lot of black people that are complaining about this stuff, they never went through Jim Crow. They never went through slavery. There's nothing that they can't do. If they're saying it's because they're black, they're being lazy and they're not taking responsibility, okay? I'm not saying that there aren't racist people. I'm not saying that there aren't jobs that won't hire you because you are black or because you're a woman, but go on to another job, okay? Go find somewhere else. You're gonna let that stop your whole career? Just because, like, if you're a lawyer and you want to get hired at this firm, but they don't hire you because you're black, you know, you can either sue them if you can prove that that's the case, because there are laws for that now, or you can go to another law firm, you know. It's not going to stop. Is that going to stop you from being a lawyer, you know? So then, like the day after, I was talking to this guy, and he was telling me that he was, you know, beat up because he was white in a mostly Hispanic neighborhood. And I was like, and I know somebody that was Mexican, and said he was beat up for being Mexican in a mostly white part of town. These things happen, okay? I'm not saying that people aren't racist, but the white guy was like, well, the Latino guy I know too, he's like, he's kind of using that as a crutch. Oh, I was beat on because I was Hispanic, and oh, you know, white people, and but I'm like, get over yourself, dude. Like, you're not the only person that experiences discrimination. I could be like that too. I can say that I was, you know, depending on the situation in life, you know, whether it was college, or I can say that I was discriminated against white people over here. I was discriminated against Mexican people over here. I've even been in cases where other black people have been very, you know, violent and discriminatory towards me as well. Even now, there are black people that come on YouTube and say stuff like, you know, because they don't agree with me, that somebody should beat me up, somebody should slap the shit out of me. You know, they make fun of my hair being nappy. You know, they call me a high yellow heifer, like all this stuff. But they want to like explain. They want to say that the white racist, the people are racist. But why would I even like hang out with you? Why would I even listen to you? You're the one that's being the psychopath. You're the one that's doing that. So getting back to this guy, he was just like, yeah, you know, but he goes, really can't complain about that, because I was like, dude, he was like, because I'm white and, you know, I have it easier. I was like, really? I'm like, honestly, again, I had to be like, my life is not in a shambles because I'm a black woman. Like, I was like, stop with the white guilt thing. It's not a good look. It's not, okay? I was like, you need to get over that. Like, you really do. Like, this guy felt a little bit more, you know, we had talked about some stuff, and I felt a little bit more grounds to be like kind of a little bit tougher on him about that. But I'll say certain things and then they'll like kind of agree with you. They'll like, yeah, it's like a light bulb goes off. And I just think that a lot of these white liberals too, they're not necessarily racist. They're just brainwashed too. They're brainwashed into low self-esteem. And I don't think any society where anybody has low self-esteem is gonna make for an empowering society, because when people have low self-esteem, they either leave themselves open to be abused or they become the abuser, which isn't good either way. So, you know, I see a lot of these people that have this white guilt. A lot of these people, you know, they're people that I've had that, you know, like just get in my car and start talking to me about racism as if it's the only thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I don't even think about that. Like, I don't wake up and I'm like, curse the day I'm black, curse the day, curse my black skin and the way that the world views me. If I did that, I would be paranoid. And there are people that do that, you know. I even had a Lyft driver, had to take my car, and so I had to take a ride as a passenger, and there was a guy that was black, and he was like, I don't know, man, like, I can't really vibe with Austin. And I was like, well, why? He goes, you know, there's just not enough black people here. I need to be around my own kind. And I'm like, this is the racist shit. Some of the most racist shit I've ever seen. And all these people, white people too, that get in my car that want to like tell me how other white people are and the racist stuff that they say, I experience as black people. I've had Indian people, Mexican people, other black people get in my car and just start talking shit about white people, and then they get mad when I don't like vibe with what they have to say. So everyone's racist. Everybody has racist thoughts and prejudice and all this stuff, but it's just interesting to see how the white guilt just kind of enslaves people mentally. And at the end of it, it's going to be, you know, the key to our undoing, because this is also the stuff that drives Antifa people. It drives the radical left, because, you know, it's you know, driving the communist mentality of the people that want to take over and destroy our country. Basically, they think that they're fighting like the white man and fighting capitalism, and it's all these white people that think that. I'm just like, to me, it's been the crazy white leftist. Like, I'm like, they're more scary than, okay, Black Lives Matter people, they're kind of scary too, but there are a lot of crazy ass white people in Black Lives Matter. I'm like, how did you even get in there? Do you know that they don't even like you? And there are gay people in Black Lives Matter that are white. I'm like, they don't even like you. Once they get their agenda done, they're gonna turn around and they're gonna like hate you, because there are a lot of black people who are really homophobic that hate gay people. Just so you know. So I feel like it's this whole thing that they're kind of, the left is using like this divide and conquer strategy to get rid of certain groups. And then once they get rid of, say they're pointing all their energy toward like straight white males. Once they get rid of them, then it's going to be straight white women. Once they get rid of them, then it's going to be like blacks against Latinos. Then it's going to be, once they like the black people get rid of the Latinos, then it's going to be like Asians against blacks. And then it's going to just keep dwindling. So we all keep, eating each other and fighting ourselves. So it's not really a good thing. It's not really productive. I hope that there are people that really start to have more self-esteem in themselves, that stop taking on the whole thing like, oh, I was a slave master, and then, my people did this to your people. That's bullshit. It's done. Can we move on? Can we get on with the future? Can we get on with the future and stop talking about the past, which we can't fix? Okay? Because I think most people would like to move on from that. Most people aren't racist. Most people aren't crazy like that. But if you keep perpetuating this white guilt thing, it's feeding into the racism, and you guys need to stop. You really, really do. Okay? That's it. All right. Peace and love. Bye-bye.